Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I am just a first-time mama to my sweet little boy Matthew. I am currently pregnant with baby number 2 and we are expecting a baby girl here in April. And I just talk about all things mom life and IVF and infertility and all of the fun things. So welcome to my channel. So first things first, I forgot the biggest thing. In my last update, it was weeks 18 and 19, and I forgot the biggest thing that happened that week. I went back and watched them like, hello. I felt baby girl kick during that week. So I think it was in week 18, we were driving to Amarillo for Thanksgiving. I had been like leaned back in the seat and was trying to like nap while Matthew was napping, and I was awake and I just felt like this kick, like really low. And if you have been pregnant, you know that feeling, you just know when it's a kick finally. And I did, I was like, oh my gosh. And I felt it a few times and I finally looked over at my husband. I was like, I just felt her kick. And he was like, are you sure it wasn't gas? And I'm like, no, it was not gas. I would know what that is. So yeah, so I started feeling her kick about week 18, and Matthew, it was right at week 20. It was like 19 weeks and 6 days with Matthew. So I was just so excited. So she was just definitely kicking a whole bunch, and I'll go into this, but she's definitely kicking really low. And I figured out why whenever we went to our anatomy scan. I'll talk about anatomy scan first. I will just say and preface all of this and just say baby girl's fine. Everything checked out great whenever we went and did our anatomy scan. However, that day was miserable. That whole appointment was just a crap show and it was just miserable. So I was so excited to go to our anatomy scan because we haven't seen baby girl since like week 12. So, 2 months. And like I mentioned last time, we got lots of ultrasounds with Matthew, so it's just kind of like, oh, I wanted to see her. So leading up to that, the day before, Matthew got sent home from daycare and he was sick. And I'd already called and gotten him an appointment with his pediatrician, but it was after my appointment. And so, he just wants his mom and he just wants me to hold him. And so we decided to take him with us. I should have been better and just been more firm and told my mom, no, I need you to watch him, because in the back of my head, I was nervous of what he would do. Because when we did our week 7 ultrasound at my IVF doctor, Matthew was also sick and had to come with us. And as soon as they turned the lights off and started got out Wanda and did the whole thing, he was crying, could not calm down. And I just assumed it was because the room was so dark and they were kind of messing with me, and it was just awkward because, mom's legs are strapped up and all the things. And so I was like, maybe this one might be better because it's in a better room. The lighting is a little, it's not as dark. It's a little lighter. This one's going to be on my tummy. Maybe this will be better. No. So when we got into the doctor's appointment, I know that my doctor's office has a sign that says that they do not allow children over the age of 18 months into the office. Now, the honest part of me was I'm checking in, holding him. He is not making a peep. He is literally just resting his head on my shoulder, just wanting me to cuddle him. As I'm checking in, did all the things, and then she looks up and sees him and she's like, how old is he? And I was like, 20 months. I could have lied. I could have said 18 months because I knew the policy, but I didn't. I told the truth because that's what you're supposed to do. And she wanted to give me such a hard time about it because then told me to reschedule. Now, mind you, I live an hour away from my doctor's office. I'm not going to reschedule when my husband has already been off and he's taken off to be there for the big day on our anatomy scan to make sure everything's okay. We literally argued over and over. I am pregnant hormonal and I am at this point crying because I either have to reschedule this whole appointment for another week, or I have to send my son and my husband out to the car and have them just wait for God knows how long while this takes. So finally, they tell us that we can go, but we have to sit in the very back corner. Mind you, again, no one would have even known that I had a kid in there had they not been giving me such a hard time. But we go and get pushed all the way to the back corner, fine. And they finally call me in and we go get into the room. And as soon as I laid back and she started to squirt the stuff on my stomach, Matthew started crying. And it was just so much anxiety because I'm wanting to be there, wanting to be an enjoyable day. And it was just not a good day. All around it was awful. So my husband had to take him out to the car. They played in the back seat and waited for I think almost an hour and a half, 2 hours by the time I finally got done with that, and then meeting with my doctor and all of the things. So it was not a fun day. But the only good thing that I can say is that everything was fine with baby girl. Hard to like focus on that and be so excited when I know I've got a sick toddler that just wants me out in the car, and you know, my poor husband is like wanting to be in there too, and he's stuck in the car, and it was just a day. So whenever we did do that, we did find out that baby girl was head up at the time. I think she's starting to switch a little bit more now, but at that time she was definitely way heads up, which is why I was feeling her so super low. And I mean, she just feels like she's literally just stomping like right on my lower areas there. So glad that she's starting to switch around and move up. So symptom wise this is just going to be an update of weeks like 20 through 22. I can't really say that I have been tired necessarily from pregnancy versus just being so exhausted from being sick. Like I had told you guys in the last video, I have still been dealing with that, and it's been several weeks now. So it's just miserable at this point. I spend so much time, and especially at night, coughing. It's just I cannot get anything up, and that's what's so frustrating about it is I can go and I can cough and I can feel stuff moving, but to not be able to like be successful and get any of the junk out is just so frustrating. And then probably the worst part of this is that I will start coughing so bad that I have now gotten sick. I got sick once from coughing, and then I got sick because I don't know why, one night, and ended up coughing just a bunch afterwards because just all the things going on inside. So one Saturday I was outside finishing up some little Christmas presents that we were doing with Matthew for my family, and I was spraying some stuff on him, and I was getting ready to bring him back in, and I felt like that, my little sense of like needing to cough, and I was like, oh God, because I also knew I needed to go to the bathroom. And let's just say like TMI, but if I had started coughing right then, I probably would have like lost all control and like peed everywhere. So I was trying to get inside the house as fast as I could to put the little cups down that I had to haul buns to the bathroom, which the bathroom is just like right around the corner. So it's not like it's that far from the front door. But yeah, so made it into the bathroom and then started coughing so bad. I was in there for probably 20-30 minutes and ended up getting sick. And I heard Matthew coming around the corner because he likes to come and find me whenever he knows that I'm around, and locked the door just in time before he started to try and come in there. But yeah, it was miserable. I had gotten sick everywhere and was just in there coughing, and my poor husband, like I opened up the door and he's just standing there. He's like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. No clue what's going on. I wasn't nauseous, I wasn't sick feeling or anything like that. I just literally was coughing so hard and so much that I made myself sick. So if you've ever had that happen to you, let me know that I'm not alone. And then when we were at home for Christmas, I had just laid down, like we had eaten way earlier. I mean, it had probably been like 4 or 5 hours. So we had gotten back to my dad and stepmom's. We would sat in the kitchen and was talking to them. And I mean, it was like 11 and 11:30 at night, and Jason and I had gone to bed. I had barely, maybe been laying down for 15 to 30 minutes. And I felt this just wave of nausea. And I was like, oh God. Threw everything off of me as fast as I could and bolted across the hall to their bathroom. And I got sick in there. And then I was like coughing a ton because I'm throwing up. And still, I have no idea why. I never felt nauseous or anything like that. But that definitely the nauseous feeling just hit, and it came, and it was so fast. So Jason did read up, and he's like, so it does say that you can get like the morning sickness feeling like into like the weeks 20-21 kind of thing where you're at right now. I'm like, fantastic. So I have not had that happen since then, but yeah, it was not fun. It made me so weak and miserable. I probably spent 3 hours that night. I ended up sleeping on the couch just to try and keep my head up a little bit and elevated, and the thought of laying down flat just made me so anxious. So I slept on the sofa or in the recliner, and then I was so weak the next day. The next day we were going to drive home, and I slept as much as I could also trying to keep Matthew entertained. I just felt so weak. I was ready to get home and get into my bed and just try and sleep some of that off. No aversion still, other than that one like salad freak out kind of thing that we did had a few weeks ago. Cravings, the only thing really has still just been the chocolate milk at night. Usually I'm a very big sweets person, so I like, a little bit of ice cream or these little chocolate, chocolate covered frozen bananas. There we go. I love those at night, but those do, like, none of that kind of stuff sounds good to me. It's just a glass of chocolate milk. That's all I want at night, and I'm perfectly happy. So that's still my only, like, kind of craving. That was it. That was the main, like, eventful things that happened during these 3 weeks. If you have any prayer requests, make sure you drop those below. I'll be happy to add you to this week's prayer list. And if you have any questions or comments, just make sure you leave those below as well. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.